All right, so here we are today. Let me tell you why we're here. I went all over the internet trying to find some information about how Rocky Mountain's e-bike motor performs compared to the other ones. I wanted to know how it performed compared to a Levo or the Shimano motors, the EP8, the E8000. I couldn't find much of anything that was decent. So we're gonna do some highly unprofessional testing today in which Ryan and I are gonna race each other. Let me tell you about who Ryan is and then the bikes. Ryan, my buddy, my homeboy, one of my most frequent riding partners, straight shredder. What size bike do you normally ride?
I have a large Specialized stump jumper right now, but besides that bike, I'd probably ride a medium usually.
Okay, well, good news for you, you're on a small today.
Perfect.
You normally ride clipped in.
I do normally ride clipped in.
Good news for you, you're on flats today.
Flats. I'm adaptable, so it's okay.
And so Ryan is on this gorgeous YT Decoy with the E8000 540 battery and just super bike. We've spent a lot of time on these. We've raced them, we've run them in all kinds of conditions. They perform great, we love them. But what we've got here is the wild card. This is the Rocky Mountain Instinct PowerPlay Alloy 70 BC Edition. This thing is awesome. I'm gonna be racing this Saturday. Super high performing bike. This guy here, we'll say that it has 80 Newton meters, and this has 108 Newton meters of power coming out of the motor. So we would anticipate that this bike should drastically outperform the classic Shimano E8000 motor. But let's do some silly competitions and see what actually happens. You ready to go?
Let's do it, let's shred.
Got him.
Yeah, I was giving it full gas.
You what?
I was giving it full gas.
Okay. He wasn't the rider. He wasn't the rider. That was terrible.
Dude, this thing's way more powerful.
So bad. Okay, in the sprint, the Rocky is so much faster.
Ryan's not even breathing hard.
What we're gonna try to do is test the ability to apply torque in a steep uphill. Oh, baby. This is nothing. This is nothing. I have all the traction in the world. I could go way slower than that. How about you?
No.
You're struggling?
This is about it.
Okay, let's redo on this. This Rocky is shockingly good. What did you notice? Let's switch bikes and we'll redo, but what did you notice?
I had to apply more of my own leg strength to get it going and keep it at the same pace.
I was doing nothing. He's breathing hard. I'm not breathing at all. Let's swap bikes and repeat. Dude, I'm really shocked by this result. I thought they were close. Here we go. So mine's like punchy. When the motor kicks on, it like boosts.
Dude, yeah, this is
Ay, 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 ay. I couldn't even make it. Look at him. I need a redo. You ready to redo?
Yeah.
I gotta redeem myself. I think he's getting used to that bike without losing traction in a loose, steep part. I did it on the Rocky with ease. Okay, struggling, 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 struggling. I'm not in control. Dang it! Look at him. He's like a tractor.
Yeah, that's wild.
Well, that was hard. What did you notice, Ryan?
So, I noticed two main things going uphill.
When you were on which bike?
When I was on the Rocky Mountain. More power with less input from the rider. And that's in an uphill sprint, but also on a slow crawl on this loose over hard pack. The rider doesn't have to input as much in order for the motor to really gain and maintain torque. No spin outs either. Kind of just, if you want to crawl at a snail's pace uphill, you can do it very manageably. What are your thoughts?
Well, I thought that you were a bad biker,
Yeah.
bike rider until I got onto the YT Decoy, which I've got a lot of miles on YT Decoys. I love this platform, at least I used to. When I tried to put the power down, it kicks on with too much horsepower, not enough torque. So it's like, instead of a slow and steady spin, it's like jerks all of a sudden.
Right.
So it breaks the rear end loose, and then after I stop, it continues.
Yeah.
I noticed on this rocky mountain, it was so precise. And I gotta say right now, I'm really shocked
Yeah.
because I've been riding the Decoy. I spent the last 2 days or so riding this, and I thought they were really similar.
Yeah.
But when I'm riding each of these motors at the same time, they have nothing in common.
They don't. They really don't. And for someone who really doesn't ride e-bikes all that much, I can notice a big difference, a big positive difference between the Rocky and the YT. Just in the power of the motor and kind of, I think the overall quality of the motor on this e-bike would probably be a little bit better.
It feels more precise and natural.
It does, absolutely.
And when I say natural, what I mean is that with this Shimano motor, it just kicks in all of a sudden, there's nothing, and then it kicks in, and then it keeps going after you stop pedaling. That thing kind of just is there with you. It's like you've got a strong friend pushing you up the hill.
Yeah, exactly. Feels like you're getting towed in a great way.
Yeah.
The input's consistent, feels really, or the output is consistent, feels great.
So maybe we'll just shoot down this hill into the parking lot, hit 20, and keep pedaling and see what we notice.
Sounds good?
Okay. There it is. I mean, that was smooth.
Yeah.
After a beautiful day in the park, like perfect weather, nice day, riding sweet bikes.
Shredding these things.
First, when it comes to that last thing, seeing what it feels like when the power runs out and it's restricted above 20 miles an hour, they felt exactly the same to me.
Yeah, I would agree. Pedal mobility was good, plus 20 miles per hour
Yeah,
when the power kicked off.
you can still pedal these both really well if you're going downhill above 20. It feels fine. I wouldn't want to pedal on the road on either of them at 22, but I'd go 20 the whole time.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, shocking difference between the two though overall. I want to sell the Decoy now. I don't even like it anymore. I don't know. What do you think? What do you notice? What are the biggest changes, biggest differences?
You can really tell the power difference, first and foremost. This Rocky Mountain is much more powerful. The motor does better uphill, accelerates faster. It's more of a natural and gradual increase in power, whereas this is kind of jolty. The YT is kind of jolty. If I was going for an e-bike that I didn't have to do much work on, or I was in a very hilly environment like we are, and I wanted that extra power, I would definitely go with the Rocky Mountain.
I actually can't think of a situation where this Shimano motor is going to perform better. Like the only downside to the Rocky is that it sounds like it's a Canadian coffee grinder. You can hear it running the whole time, just a bit of a grinding sound. But other than that, I didn't notice it once I started riding, and there's just no scenario where I think that the Shimano motor is going to outperform it. Do you see something? Is there a time when you would rather have the Shimano motor?
There really isn't, no. If I was going with an e-bike, I would want a powerful e-bike, and that's the more powerful bike.
So let's get our hands on the new Levo, and let's do the same test with the new Levo motor and see what we learn from that.
Absolutely.
Thanks, man.